Yeah. Hello, you two. Hello, hello. So, some of you may know this already, but I started a little project on my stream where I was finished upgrading my Chain Lightning Erika 2, and I wanted to make myself a Rain of Arrows Aurastacker to try out Aurastacking this league. And we ended up deciding on going for Gemma 3, just because no one really was playing Gemma 3 this league, so I thought it would be fun. Even though I do think this build would be a lot better on the other characters. But I just quickly want to go over the character, show you the gear that I had, and show you some gameplay of her. So this was a very generic Aura Stacker, with Thronewalker's Eternity, Depth's Touch, and then a super good Fizz Bow. As well as just your generic Aura Effect, Sealed Mana, Aura Effect, Sealed Mana, Aura Effect, Sealed Mana, Curse Base, additional damage from main and weapons, times 2. And then for our slates, we basically focused a lot on scaling the additional base damage for 200 weapons. So you'll see that all of these have like plus fizz levels, additional base damage weapons. Sealed Mana, which is also Aura Effect, additional base damage weapons. Fizz levels to get up to level 30 at least. As well as just plus 1 all. And we had a Defensiveness Rush Pedigree. This character defensively was block capped. Mostly just through our gear, so we had 20% block from this. We had 20% block from each ring. We had 13% block on 2 of the memories. And then our tree gave us the leftover block that we needed. And with this setup, we ended up having a total of 104% block with 60% block ratio. And then on top of that, we also had Precise Eddy Rise Aura, which we had 356% aura effect for each of our auras, with the Stand Spawn Selfishness Aura Amp combo, which meant that we were avoiding, we were taking about minus 63% additional elemental damage, and we had Steadfast Aura, which gave us 92k armor, which made us take 80% reduced damage from first damage, and 49% reduced damage from magic damage. So this character in theory should have been quite tanky. I was actually quite surprised to see how not tanky it was, in the sense of I could do mapping just fine and tank mapping just fine, but when testing it against things that like my Mega Stacking E2 could survive, it felt quite squishy. Like for example, when I pushed the dragon, I was dying to the Dragon Breath. I had to swap to 3 defensive auras. I had to add in Energy Shield Aura to be able to like tank the Dragon Breath. While on my Mega Stacker, like that wasn't really an issue. I could just take it. I do think part of the issue was regain and not having ways to like get my Energy Shield back. Because on the Dragon I was running Force Start, but I might have needed like some extra sources of ES regen. There's quite a few things that I think I could have improved about the build and made it better, but I'll get into why I decided to sell the build off already in a bit, because I do have a good reason for it. Now, for my candles, I just had very generic Blessing Generation, first damage, Holiness so that we could do Deep Space, and first damage to our weapon. This weapon, in-game, the tooltip, had like over 60 or 70k first DPS. And then on top of it having that much first DPS, we were using Fist of Fire, which adds 25.5% of our physical damage as fire damage, which gave us a ton of fire damage. As well as this ring mod adds 14% first as fire damage, which is just a very strong way to scale damage. We only needed 2 damage auras to be able to reach 15 trillion with this build, with precise projectiles and weapon amplification. And for our tree, it was quite very generic. We went with God of War Ranger. I do think going Ronin would have been better, because we have no like dot mitigation. And if you go Ronin, you're able to tank full defense, which just gives you a lot of that tankiness for dot damage as well. I think that was a big issue in the build, that I would have to have fixed, but any fixes that I wanted to make, that I had in mind, I had to spend more currency on the build. And I kind of got another idea at the same time that was more exciting for me to do. So just very generic, God of War, Ranger, shooting arrows. Keep It Up is very, very strong in this build. We had like 90% crit because of Lucky Crit. So Keep It Up was just giving us a ton of damage. All the block nodes, and then if you play an Aurastacker, you pretty much always want to go Warlock. Because other than the fact that Indifference and +1 all is really good, Off the Beaten Track is absolutely insane for like your auras and stuff. Like it gives a lot of aura effect. It probably isn't necessary to go into this tree though. You probably can go for other options. Because we have so much sealed mana that a problem that I had is that my belt had to reduce damage taken from when at low mana, but I wasn't even low mana. My mana was constantly at like 40% or 50%. Even though we don't have a single restraint on any of these auras, we had over 200% sealed mana compensation. And the big way we did that is actually through the new Star Trail trinket. So Star Trail, and then we rolled every single one of these microphases for 3% sealed mana compensation. So in total, this tree alone gave me 70% sealed mana compensation. And then on top of that, I added myself Precise Acuteness, which was just additional first damage, as well as just Tiger Roll for Intimidation, because it's pretty strong on the dragon. I will say though, after playing this build, I do think if I were to do this again, I would probably go life-based with armor instead of energy shield. I went with energy shield because I was thinking like if you go precise energy shield aura, you're gonna be super tanky. But after playing it, like it's so difficult to fit in damage and tankiness at the same time. Because unlike with mega stacking, where it's like you can just put the megas on your Kismets and then you get origin effect and you get the megas. On aura stacking, there's no way to put it on the Kismet, and you kind of just have to like choose 4 auras. And the game balance is such a way that like even with 60% block ratio, like you don't feel tanky. You need extra layers on top of that, and you end up just spending a lot of your auras getting insanely tanky. But if you do the full tank setup, like you're unkillable with this build, then you just need to find ways to scale the damage. And yeah, something that was nice with our aura effect is if we use Precise Swiftness, we were getting like 120% movement speed from it. So on this character, before selling it off, I did manage to achieve rank 1 on the dragon on it, which very unoptimized setup. I still managed to get rank 1 dragon with 3774, as well as I got the first SS20 clear on Gemma 3, 3-star. I'm the only person to have done a 3-star of SS20, and I got the second SS21 3-star. Obviously, SS21 is a lot easier this league than SS20, so someone else had managed to get it before me already, by just 5 days. But at that point, I decided to do some mapping, which I'll show to you now. I did some mapping on Deep Space with the build to just, try it out, see how it goes. And this is kind of the point where I went from, I don't really want to keep investing into this and, like, fixing the build even more. Like, I had a lot of ideas for future plans to do with the build. But, like, it literally just feels like the exact same build as Erika 2, except slower. If I play my Erika 2 right now, like, in maps, I'm reaching 400-500% movement speed near the end of the map. I'm doing deep space maps in like under 2 minutes consistently while doing all cogs and doing triple S. And I kind of, around this time, when I was thinking if I want to keep investing into this build, or if I want to like go back to Erika 2, what would I do on Erika 2? And as you saw maybe, I'm not rank 1 on Dragon anymore. That's right. My rank 1 dragon got sniped and demolished by 200 rankings, so I want to go take that back. I want to reach 4k on the dragon. I don't really care too much if I reach rank 1 or not. If the guide doesn't improve it, I will probably reach rank 1. But my main goal is that I want to get 4K on Dragon as well. And videos in the future will be coming up to show that off. Because I have some really good things cooking. I think the build is gonna be fucking hype. And I think people are gonna like what I do with it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. I was planning on doing a lot more content of this build, but I ended up just rather wanting to sell it than keep playing it. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And remember to catch my streams live at 5 PM GMT+2 every single day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.